The following video contains spoilers for South Park Season 21 Episode 4, Franchise Prequel. Yo everyone, how's it going? Stevie here. I hope you've all had a great week. I did plan to do a question and answers video, but hey, we never got any questions, so screw it. We're not going to do it just now. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. Ask whatever you want about South Park, just go for it. But we don't have much time this week, and I am running late, so let's get to the episode. Franchise Prequel. This week, we have the return of Coon and Friends. All the boys which make up Coon and Friends are on a mission to take on Hollywood and get their own TV franchise, which will make them a crap load of money. Cartman has big plans for the Coon and Friends franchise with a ton of series and movie ideas on every single one of the superhero group. It is in this episode the boys are launching Phase 1, which they know can be difficult, or at least it was until Amazon came along, greenlighting any idea that they seen. The Coon and Friends quest for this episode is to get greenlit by Amazon so they can start their franchise plans. But Super Craig detects something. They have a problem. The group is being defamated on Facebook big time. Someone has a clear and systematic plan to take down the Coon and Friends by way of a social media disinformation campaign that is spreading stories of the Coon and Friends in where they are burning American flags, peeing in each other's mouths and pooping on girls while they are asleep. Nasty. Who could be doing such a thing? Who could be creating this? Chaos. Of course, it's Butters, aka Professor Chaos, who this time has quite the ingenious plan to take the Coon and Friends out once and for all. Butters has somehow learned that he can have people post disinformation or what some people would call fake news on Facebook, which in turn makes him money that he is using to then hire more people to post more disinformation about the Coon and Friends and make more money, and so on and so forth. He's built a little empire here. It's pretty cool. The boys do try and confront Butters at school on the situation, but he essentially lets them all know that it's him doing it and he doesn't give a flying fudge what they think. The boys even go as far as trying to bribe him with his own movie in the franchise, but he's not interested. He just doesn't want it. He tells them where to stick it. It's a shame Butters wasn't just a tiny bit more clever. He could have made himself rich, or hell, maybe he did in this episode. He somehow got possession of an old superstore and he's employed a hell of a lot of people to work in this disinformation farm. Could Butters be a millionaire? We will never know. But anyway, this is the story of the week. Coon and Friends versus Professor Chaos and his new social media hate campaign. The boys try and clear their name by going directly to the other kids in South Park, but this fails and the boys have to continue on heroically in their battle to get greenlit by Amazon, but surprisingly they have refused to greenlight them as they have seen the stories on Facebook about them crapping on people, doing things with animals and the such, so they're not getting greenlit. The battle continues on and the heroes must make money no matter what, so they have to get rid of these allegations so they can get greenlit by Amazon. Alongside this story, we have the parents of South Park who are extremely concerned about the Coon and Friends stories. The way they see it, this is a group of kids that are all wearing costumes, and somehow none of them realise that that's their kids, and they are really worried about this because they're like, whoa, this could be our friends. Are our kids having sex with antelopes? It's just silly. The parents come to the assumption that it is Facebook which is to blame for this due to the amount of fake news that is on Facebook and how kids can't separate fake news from truth. Of course, the parents completely missed the point here. Ironically, they cannot separate clear fake news from real news. I mean, kids crapping at each other while they sleep. Come on. Randy has plans to try and fix this problem. He invites Mark Zuckerberg to town to speak to the parents about Facebook and fake news. Zuckerberg comes to town, but he turns out to be a crazy bastard who speaks with a robot voice, makes his own sound effects and boasts about his amazing STOYL. He did not help in any way. Rather, Zuckerberg stays in town as he was invited, and somehow he has it in his head that he can do whatever he wants in the town of South Park now. The Zuckerberg rampage started when Randy organised a meeting at the school where they could ask him questions about their concerns. Mark seen this as an attack and he denied he was at fault in any way. The parents' argument is that he created the platform to make money, but Zuckerberg says, look, it's not his fault. I mean, he just created the platform, he's not doing anything wrong. This seems to be one of the main questions the episode asks of the viewers. Is Facebook to blame for fake news because people can make money for it? On that question, I say no, as it's not like Facebook are directly paying people to post content. People create their own content and promote it in a system that for the most part is automated. If there were some backroom deals, funny handshakes and such about fake news, then yes, it would be a problem. But as we see things now in the real world, not in South Park, unless we get evidence, I am pretty much on Facebook's side because I don't see what they've done wrong. But anyway, Mark goes on a rampage through South Park, showing off his STOYL. I thought he was a robot, because his voice seems dubbed and everything, but in the end it turns out he's just a bit of a penis. And all he has is his amazing STOYL that he says in a robot voice. He just says it over and over again. He's mental in this episode. In the end, the boys confront Professor Chaos in his Chaos City offices. It turns out that Butters is working with Zuckerberg directly in his propaganda war against Coon and Friends. Zuckerberg tells the boys that to get to Butters, they have to go through him, as he paid $17 a month for a service that gets him direct protection from Zuckerberg himself. Everyone in the town, the kids and the adults, are almost beaten by Zuckerberg, as they have no idea how to deal with him. The adults just want the cops to shoot him, but this is not going to happen. The cops can't just shoot people, and thus he just continues to straight up take a piss all over South Park, just walking about being an asshole. As said, he's a bit of a penis. Thankfully, the kids have a plan to get Zuckerberg back at his own game. So Zuckerberg is just continuing his bullshit through the streets, and the kids manage to lure him out, and they start beating the crap out of him until it just seems like he powers up and he just throws them all away, and he just starts hitting all the kids back and proclaiming he's awesome with his awesome style and all that stuff. And it's then we find out what the plan was. Cartman starts proclaiming that Mark is just beating up kids that were protesting for black rights, Jewish rights, everything, and he is streaming it all live on Facebook. Zuckerberg tries to say none of this is true, but Cartman reminds him it's true because Facebook makes it true, which was great. This leads to Zuckerberg instantly pulling the plug on Facebook to save his own image, ending everything. The boys bring an end to Chaos's disinformation plan and fake news on Facebook. Yay, great. Butters' dad finds out that it was Butters who was behind all the fake news. Butters said he only did it because he's seen that the Russians did it. So his dad drags him by the ear all the way to Moscow, right to the desk of Vladimir Putin, before giving them both into trouble for posting and promoting fake news, making the point that just because what you are doing does not break any rules, does not mean that you should do it. And let's be honest here, if you're just doing that to make money, that is pretty scummy, and you probably shouldn't do it, because it's just BS. I thought this episode was great, but it could have easily been a 2-part story or even a 3-part story, as I felt the story just went a bit too quickly in parts and it felt a little bit rushed. The end came a little bit abruptly, but overall I liked it. It was a really good episode. I just feel it was a bit condensed. The fake news and superhero franchise stories worked well together. The Coon and Friends were able to bring an end to the nasty practice of people or countries posting fake news, which, well, for a superhero story, you really couldn't get more current than stopping fake news, so I quite liked that. We're back to a world where every South Park episode has some clear messages within the episode. This week they asked the questions about ethics of fake news and whether something is okay just because it does not break any rules. Also, they ask, is Zuckerberg the one who can be blamed for all the fake news on Facebook, as he is the enabler, or is he just an innocent businessman? Obviously, this is a question for yourselves to answer. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Is Zuckerberg to blame for fake news, or is he a businessman? Comments, people. Let's do this. Let's see what people think. For me, the funniest moments this week were when Jimmy's birth, when we see him telling a joke straight out of the womb. We had the customary Harvey Weinstein joke. Cartman, oh man, Cartman. Wendy comes along at one point of the episode, and Cartman is just a passive-aggressive wanker now. He is a total dick to her, and it is blatant, and it's funny, but it's tragic, so it makes the list. Parents seeing the kids beating up Zuckerberg and then encouraging them to beat him up more and poop in his mouth, that made me laugh a lot. And of course, Butters' dad grounding Vladimir Putin, that was great. That was just fantastic. And the boys, in the end, they actually got greenlit, but as soon as they got greenlit, they all started bickering, they all started fighting, they all fell out, and the franchise disbanded. As I said, a great episode. Go and watch it. Remember to hit the subscribe button, come back for more South Park and Dragon Ball videos, or hey, whatever else I make. I'll be back next week, or maybe sooner. Who knows? Who knows? See you later.